Hi, welcome back to Navigating Life with B. This is Bernie, your host, and today I'm going to share a little bit about the self-talk that I've discovered recently and what we can do about it. Now, I'm not talking about any kind of internal conversations. I'm specifically talking about the negative type, the type that brings us down, the type that does not make us feel good, and the type that basically hold us back. So I've been struggling with my internal conversation for the longest time, and I don't know where it came from, but it's definitely has been plaguing me since I was in high school. Most of my self-talk are very negative and it always brings me down. And what's worse, I actually used to date a guy that actually verbalizes my insecurities. He is a physical being that is my negative self-talk. So that was like one of the lowest points in my life. But that's not the reason why I'm here today, because along the years, I have been battling with my internal conversations and trying to turn them around. And I have found a way that has been effective for me. And so I just want to share it out here so that if someone else is also going through the same thing, hopefully this little information might just help you battle your internal negative conversation and have a happier day about yourself. So in this video, I'm going to share about the types of self-talk that I've identified and the list that falls in those categories and what we can do about it. Now, our negative internal conversation, how should I put it? Imagine your disempowering self-talk is a person that's talking to you. These are the things he's saying to you. You're not talented at all. That's not being smart. Why do you make that mistake again? You're so sloppy. Why are you wearing that dress? No matter how much makeup you put on, you'll never look good. Recently, I stumbled upon a really great quote, and that is, make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your own two ears. This is a quote by Laird Hamilton. I really love it because that is exactly what was happening to me when I was in my teenage years, throughout my 20s, that my enemy was living in my head. I was my own enemy, and that's one thing I wanted to share with you. That not every negative internal self-talk that plays in your head is true. No doubt sometimes the negative self-talk may have some truth in it, but somehow we take that little bit of truth and we exaggerate it to the point where it's not real anymore. We have to always take it with a pinch of salt, that yes, there might be some truth in it. We should take a step back and really process, where is this feeling coming from? Did it stem from insecurity? Did it stem from anger? Because by taking a step back and looking at internal self-talk objectively, we are then able to really break it down and process exactly what is it that we're fearful of or we're insecure of, and why are these thoughts being played in our head. Know that you can do something about this feeling and this talk, and that it doesn't have to be that way, and that you can do something about it. You have the power to change it. And that is one of the biggest discovery that I have. So as one of the last tip and a reminder, I just want you to know that you are more powerful than you think. You are more capable and talented than you think. Don't let your negative self-talk bring you down. Don't let your negative self-talk lead your life. You can take control of the negative self-talk, break it down, understand where they come from, and address it. That is one of the healthiest way you can do for yourself when a negative self-talk arises. Today, we're going to focus on identifying the self-talk. These are just very common self-talk, and you are all probably familiar with them already. There is the guilt, the comparison, the conditional, the negative, and the discrediting. So the first self-talk is negative self-talk. This talk basically focuses on bringing ourselves down or beating ourselves up or holding us back. So the kind of self-talk would sound like this. I suck. I'm never gonna get it right. I should just give up. Basically, this particular self-talk makes us feel very small, and most of the time it focuses a lot on our shortcomings. Now, there is a difference between talking about this casually versus believing in them. If this talk lingers on, it can really affect our own self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, our identity, and we probably have a hard time naming good things about ourselves. Second self-talk, I call it the invalidating self-talk. Basically, this is a self-talk that disbelieves and discredits all the good things that goes on or goes well for you. It could be your strengths, accomplishments, or compliments that you get. This is the kind of talk where you will find a reason why you don't deserve that compliment, achievement, or the strength that you have. So an example of an invalidating self-talk would sound like this. Oh, this, I still make mistakes, like this one over here. I'm not as good as the people out there that's like making big pieces and have like flawless pieces of work. Like that's where I say talent lies. This, no, not me, no. This talk basically focuses on denying and objects anything good that's going around you. If this talk is very dominant in your life, most probably it stops you from reaching your full potential and you feel conflicted within yourself. Now, the third self-talk is the spiteful, vengeful self-talk. This is a self-talk that focuses a lot on hurting others or hurting ourselves. It comes from the space of spite or anger. Basically, this self-talk would focus on proving others wrong, proving others otherwise. If this self-talk is dominant in our lives, it's not very healthy for us or our mental state because we're not doing it for the right reason. If we keep that up, even if we do achieve that goal, like even if we do conduct a particular activity that we want, because we did not come from the space that we love or enjoy, we will not be able to fully appreciate the activity that we have set out to do. There is a fine line between doing something to prove someone wrong versus doing something for yourself. And I feel like it's always best for us if we do something for ourselves. The fourth self-talk is the conditional self-talk. Basically, this self-talk finds reason why you cannot enjoy something or you cannot do something or you don't allow yourself to do something until something is met or is achieved. And most of the time, this self-talk is self-imposed.
I cannot be happy until I have this.
If we have this kind of self-talk lingering or is dominant in our lives, we will not be present with what we do. In fact, what we will look forward to would be the future and not the now, because having this self-talk would distract us from our current environment, the space that we have, the people, and the resources that we have around us. It stops us and blinds us from what we can do now, and what's worse, we are denying ourselves from feeling a certain way when we can feel them right now. We are deserving of being calm and being happy regardless of what we have yet to achieve. There is a difference between earning your place and deserving it. I want to let you know that we are all deserving of happiness, calm, and peace, no matter where you are and the walks of life. The fifth is the guilt self-talk, and this self-talk focuses on what you should or should not have done. And most of the time, this self-talk is very driven from the society and the people around us, the community, family members, and the friends that we're surrounded with. What are the beliefs, approval from your general environment versus what we stand for and what we truly believe in and what we want in our lives. Most of the time, the guilt self-talk comes from a conflict between what the society expects of us versus what you want to achieve for yourself. And it's in a conflict of being stuck in the middle that we feel guilty in a particular circumstance. A guilt self-talk may sound like this. Maybe I shouldn't send my daughter to preschool. She came back looking so angry. That's alright, I will give her candy. But I don't think I should be giving her candy anytime she wants. Oh no, she's crying again. I gotta go. If this self-talk is rampant in our life, we feel very helpless. And what is very disempowering about this self-talk is when we feel guilty, we would make decisions from the space of guilt. And that space will not be able to empower us to behave or make decisions in a rational and objective manner. And the sixth self-talk is the comparison self-talk. This self-talk focuses on what you are not or what you don't have. An example of comparison self-talk sounds like this.
Oh, she's doing that already? But I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not there yet.
Why am I not there yet?
I mean, I've been working on it just for 6 months and she's been working on it for 10 years.
Basically, This self-talk finds reasons why we're not good enough or why we're not as good as others. We constantly take our journey and compare it to another person's journey, and we get very critical about our own journey on what we should have achieved or where we should be by now, ignoring the fact that we have different background, support, resources, expertise, and skill set. So why is comparison self-talk not healthy for our self-esteem and our confidence? This is because a lot of the time we will take our own journey and compare it with somebody else's journey who may seem to be in a similar space, but in reality that's not true. In reality, it's really very hard to find another person with a similar background who have exactly the same path or factors as you to make a fair comparison. If this self-talk plays a lot in our head, actually dulls our own experiences, we fail to appreciate our own path and progress that we've made, and we also fail to recognize and appreciate the person that we compare with, their journey, their struggles, the choices and sacrifices that they have to make to get to where they are today. And on top of that, we actually diminish our own experiences and our own progress, and that is never healthy nor motivate us in any way. Now, as I'm sharing this, I am by no means perfect, that I am still struggling with my own negative self-talk. The 6 of these self-talk, there are some that actually appear in my life more dominantly than the others. Ultimately, what I wanted to share here is it is not about the absence of the negative self-talk. That is just normal and natural. Nothing is wrong with you if you have negative self-talk in your head. What I am trying to bring up to your attention here is that the power of awareness regarding my negative self-talk is what made my life a little bit easier and happier today, because I have had the opportunity and the awareness to catch these negative self-talk before it overwhelms me, before it brings me down, before it brings me in a spiral of never-ending thoughts that would stop me from functioning. The focus here is to pick up that new awareness, that mindfulness, to address our negative self-talk before it gets out of control in our head. Alright, and that is all our self-talk video for today. Let me know if it's helpful to you. You can drop a comment below on what are the common negative self-talk that has been playing in your head. If you have any self-talk that you have thought of but I have not named them, do share them in a comment below. Let's identify as many disempowering self-talk as possible, and I will add them into that list, and then you can copy and paste them and everyone can use them for yourself as a reminder. If you want to learn more about self-awareness and self-reflection, you should check out my next video.